Hi everyone, it's really nice to see you all here today. My name is Daria and I'm 3D artist. I work somewhere between design, animation and storytelling, and my main language for this is 3D. I was born and grew up in Russia, that's me. 6 years ago I moved to Germany, and I've been working in Berlin and working with Colors in the Kid Studio for all these years. Here, I want to show you some of the projects that we've been working together with our amazing team. David is here. We create visual experiments, explorations, brand designs, motion design, idents, research, and also we create music. But what I love the most about working here is that we always experimenting. Every project feels like a little playground of ideas, and it really resonates with me. Outside of studio work, I love doing my personal projects. I try to work on that in my free time, and here are some of them. That's my space to play, to try new techniques, to explore something, to follow some strange ideas that I have in my head. Some pieces are quite wild and abstract, but sometimes I also create something more grounded to reality. And all of them reflects who I am, my experiences, emotions, and the way I can see that world. Lately, I've been feeling quite homesick, missing my family, my friends, and my home. And instead of trying to ignore this feeling, I decided to turn it into the project. I was working on this project for quite a while, and I published it 2 days ago. And now I want to show it to you. In this project, I wanted to collect small elements that reminds me of home, the textures, the memories, the warmth, and translate them into 3D embroidery. And each scene carries something personal for me, something that brings me back home. I know like 3D embroidery sounds like a strange idea for the project, but it made perfect sense for me. Since my childhood, I love creating things with my family, with our own hands. And this kind of crafting brings me back home. So embroidery became the heart of the whole project. And the sound design for this project was created by a really talented Aaron. And now I wanted to ask, who is the new to Houdini and who has never used them? Raise your hands. Yeah, okay, we have some of the people here. I want to show you how I built the scenes, and I will try to make everything clear. So even if you don't use Houdini, I hope that you will get what's happening in there. Let's start with one of my favorite scenes. I asked my mom, my dad, and my sister to draw something, just some little doodles. As you can see, all these pictures, all these drawings are quite fun and have their own personality. Like you can see, my sister has completely wild personality. I especially love this cool ant in sunglasses, and it reminds me of her and her behavior sometimes. So I took these drawings and built a setup in Houdini to embroider them in 3D. I placed the images onto the grid, kept only black color, black points, extract these outlines and connected them all together. so they could be connected with small arcs, and it's like they would be embroidered. Later, I animated these squares quickly. So here's no hand animation. It's just like sinus wave. I really like to do something procedurally and not using any keyframes. After that, I connected them with these lines in between each other and used some cloth vellum simulation with slight pin to target animation in it. And that's how my family drawings became connected with each other. Another scene was inspired by carpets that I used to see every day in every home during my childhood. These carpets were hanged on the wall. And I don't know, maybe you also had this experience when you came to home and you saw these carpets everywhere around on walls. So I could stare at their patterns for hours, imagining little stories inside them. There was like no TV, and it's the only one thing that I could stare at. I wanted to capture this shift in my head, dreamlike feeling, so the ornaments slowly morph and transform like they're alive. For those animation, like the whole animation was based on these two simple animations that I created in COPS. To create this, I used just like some random noise and some couple of ramps inside Copernicus. It was actually more about exploring and experimenting, blending these noises together and see what works better, what doesn't work, and apply some gradients, some masks. And it's all about finding the good look and make an abstract animation. I applied these animations to these horizontal lines as some attribute, like a color attribute or loose attribute, as I called it here in the project. After that, I used that animated attribute in Vellum simulation to lose its pin's strength and change rest scale, so these threads can hang on black color, kind of. And this is what I got out of Vellum, 2 different simulations. Both of these simulations I put into array with MOPS instancer and applied some random time offset to them. And this is the final looping animation preview. Overall, this shot looks exactly like how I imagine it in my head after staring at the carpet ornaments for hours. Another thing that I used to do with my family is assembling puzzles. I love to get on my birthday Nuzzle puzzle box with 3,000, 4,000 pieces in it and spend some time just making them. For the main structure, I created this interesting shape. And I was watching Yunihiro Harikawa's tutorial about creating procedural puzzle setups. And for those who don't know him, please check his YouTube channel. It's really good, amazing. Streams, amazing. For threads, I converted noise volume trails into lines, relaxed them after that, and created these arcs. So they would be embroidered into the puzzles and not connected each puzzle together. So I also created this rigid body simulation of puzzles, reversed it, and applied animation back to my embroidered puzzles with transform pieces node. And And this is how I collect all the chaos around me and turning it into harmony piece by piece. It's like reconnecting parts of myself. This shot basically became my starting point in the whole project. I really wanted to create the main logic, how I can translate everything into embroidery. And cross-stitching was the easiest way to do that, because it's the most basic thing in embroidery when you learn how to do this. Here I'm just drawing this image of a house on a grid with just like paint attribute. And after this black color will be the source for the setup. So like you can see that I built the setup where it connects all these black points with cross stitches. And for stitching animation, I just used carve node to cut the main spline and animated position of the threads a bit based on the carve values. Another idea was to show chaotic tangle of threads forming abstract pattern. It's like my thoughts and feelings of being homesick are weaving and overlapping with each other. So here is the preview of animation. You can see how each stitch connects with each other and with the next one, and slowing down. For that, I just placed random stitches on a grid with the scatter node and split it to the columns based on their position. For each column, I connected all the lines together and created arcs. With that, I just animated stitching again with carve node. So nothing crazy here. So this scene, let's see what it's about and how it was built. So these 4 silhouettes are members of my family, my parents, my little sister, and me. I drew outline in Illustrator and imported it in Houdini. And here I selected some vertical edges into the group for later and placed us into the circle like holding hands. In Vellum simulation, I manipulate these edges that I selected previously. I fold them and unfold them during the time, so it looks like we are all dancing together. After that, I used my cross-stitch setup that I showed you before to make some random parts embroidered shapes. And just point deform these threads on the main dancing simulation. It's simple, but to me, it captures the rhythm of being close even when we are far apart. And the next scene, when I was a kid, I could eat the whole bucket of apples. Even today, apples instantly brings me back home. So I made a playful animation of embroidered apples falling like they would fall from my mom's tree in the garden. So let's check how this scene was built. First of all, I split the apple to several fragments. And for each fragment, I selected borders, split them to 2 halves, and connect them with each other with lines. So after that, I just applied back the apple color to each of the line. Nothing crazy. To make falling animation, I used again RBD simulation, rigid body simulation, with collision detection. And transfer this animation back to my threads using point transform pieces. And here inside the Vellum simulation, I just release all the strings when each apple hitting the floor. And of course, I had to include one of my favorite memories, collecting leaves and flowers with my grandmother. The smell of dried leaves, the sound of turning pages when I put each leaf inside it, I can still remember it. And in this scene, I reimagined this herbarium in my 3D embroidery with flowers gently placed between turning pages. So to create this scene, I used a lot of alpha images that I took from Quicksil Bridge, and I placed them in COPs. So after that, I just traced them with trace node, remeshed, and applied the same setup from Apple scene. So this setup splits them into lots of embroidered parts. And this is how many flowers and leaves I decided to use in this scene. For the book, I just animated turning pages and applied the cloth simulation, Vellum simulation to it. To place flowers inside each page, I used UV layout node. It's basically one of my favorite nodes in Houdini. I put a cage of each object inside UV layout node so they could be distributed equally. And after that, I transferred their position back to embroidered flowers. This way, I randomly placed all the flowers on each page of the book. And I didn't do it manually, otherwise it would be crazy. And after that, I just applied Vellum simulation back with polydeform. So, love Houdini for that you don't need to do anything manually. And with the same way, I made these flowers in the final shot. And in the center of the shot, there are 3 connected homes. The place where I grew up, the place where I found my close friends in the university, and the place where I live right now and where I find my new friends. So, to be honest, this project was quite emotional to make. I didn't want to feel sad. I just wanted to feel alive, full of energy. Full of energy and warmth. It was challenging, but also healing for me. Now, when I watch it, it feels like a bittersweet postcard to my home, stitched together with love, nostalgia, and a bit of digital chaos. So I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Thank you so much for listening for me today, and enjoy your evening.